Hello, Sam from Tool Hut. Got a good one for you today. 2012 GMC Sierra with 6.2-liter gas engine, intermittent, no crank. Stand by. Hello, Sam from Tool Hut here. I'm a mobile programmer, diagnostician. It's my own name, I guess. I go to auto repair shops and I do programming and assist in diagnosis when I can. So today we have a 2012 GMC Sierra. I was called out to the shop to look at it. It's an intermittent no crank. Well, as a mobile guy, most mobile guys will tell you they don't do intermittents. So typically on an intermittent, I like to at least go to the shop and at least see if there's something that I can see, even though it is intermittent, that may be causing their intermittent no crank. So kind of look for the obvious stuff, the low-hanging fruit or whatever you want to call it. So my first stop out here, of course, the truck starts for me every time I'm going to go look at it. So the only code they have reoccurring is a P0513. So let's just go through the P0513 information from the service information standpoint. So the service information essentially tells you that the theft deterrent module has an invalid key, not the key that goes in the ignition, but the key from the theft deterrent module. There's a challenge that happens. The theft deterrent module sends out a signal to the ECM. The ECM sends another signal back to the theft deterrent module, and somewhere along the line, these don't match. So it'll keep it from cranking. Now, even when this truck will start, this P0513 is present. So at first, we kind of looked at all of the theft deterrent components. I hooked up my scope and I did some CAN line communication type stuff. It was determined by looking at the CAN lines that when it was running, that it had an excessive AC ripple on the CAN lines. So I advised them to put in an alternator after testing the alternator completely, but also let them know that this may or may not even address their problem, but it was something that needed to be addressed. So they put the alternator in, call me the next morning, tell me it won't start. Not really surprised, but it's an intermittent job. So I drive back out to the shop, I look at it again, and it starts up for me. And I kind of explained to the service manager that before we can proceed, I need to get it to a no-start situation. So a day or two goes by, and he calls me, says it won't start. I drive out there, and it will start. So we kind of decide at this point that we need to take a different approach. We need to go about this a different way. So what I ask him to do is the next time you go out there to start it, take your scanner with you. Call me, and let's go over some data when it won't start. I don't know if I'm going to be able to help him or not, but let's put our two heads together and see if we can come up with a plan. So the service manager is not a technician. He seems pretty mechanically inclined to me. So I'm pretty confident that between the two of us, we could probably solve this over the phone just by getting another set of eyes on the data. I could be wrong, but let's move on. So here's some screenshots of the data list he sent me. Now they're from a phone, so the pictures are not the greatest. So anybody see anything that stands out? Anybody see anything that jumps out and says, hey, this is a problem? Finally, a clue. So the EC ignition relay feedback is 1.7 volts. Not 100% sure what it's supposed to be, but 1.7 does not sound good to me. So I'd look up the scan tool definitions in the service information, which is not real helpful. So I decided to have them check the voltage at the PCM for the different powers, and one of them is 0. So I don't know if they didn't have a good connection at the PCM, or just too much amperage, or they moved stuff around and couldn't get the voltage. But anyway, one of them was 0. They decided to trace it back to the fuse box, and the underhood fuse box is the component that fixed this car. Here's a couple of pictures of the underhood fuse box taken apart. There's no real clues, in my opinion, to what could be going on. The truck is 6 years old. I know these are kind of problematic for fuse boxes, but I've never seen this particular complaint caused by a fuse box. So they do put a new fuse box in it and let it set for a day and make sure that it's going to start every time. It does start every time. So I just wanted to go over this one with you because it wasn't as it appeared. The code setting, the codes, all of that stuff led us down a path, led them down a path, and led me down a path that wasn't really relevant to the problem we were trying to figure out. So hope this is helpful to somebody. I know I've had a couple of them since this that I've looked at that voltage, and it's almost always at or near a battery voltage. So anyway, subscribe to the channel. If you want to get some more videos like this, thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, suggestions. You can follow us on Facebook, Tool Hut USA. You can visit our website, toolhutusa.com. Have a great day.